What's up, everyone? It's been kind of a while since I've done an unscripted video, but I'm going to be ranking the strongest characters from all of my different what-ifs. And when I did this before, I ranked them based on which what-ifs are the strongest, which that gets kind of muddy. I mean, because some characters are really strong and then some others will be like kind of holding it down. So what I'm doing here is different. I'm just going to be ranking it based on the strongest in each scenario, and we're going to be just picking one character from each. So, for example, like Evil Goku here. We're only going to be talking about Evil Goku because he's the strongest in that scenario. We're going to ignore everybody else. It's just going to be based on him. So I'll pop the characters on screen too when I'm talking about them. And last time I actually forgot a lot of them. This one includes pretty much every story. I might be missing one or two, but I think I went through and got every single one of them, including Cell Prime, by the way. So in case you can see, that's up here because, well, technically, the strongest character in any of my videos is me, myself, because I did appear in Cell Prime. But let's just say it's Cell Prime. It's Cell Prime and then Piccolo. Both of them were fighting in there at the end. Basically, this is kind of set the stage for everything. So yeah, just Cell Prime alone, yeah, definitely strongest character besides Salad. I mean, we can make an extra tier. You know what? Let's actually do that. Me. Yeah, we'll put that. Cool. Okay. This is like literally over 100 scenarios. I won't remember every single one here, so if I get anything wrong, it's because despite me writing all these, I can't remember every single thing. I think I used a funny analogy before where I'm like, Lil Wayne, he's had so many songs and he doesn't remember like anything he's wrote because of it. I'm kind of like that in that regard. I'm like that with what ifs. Let's see what we've got here. Evil Goku. Yeah, the strongest one here would be Supreme God Kakarot. We could put him up here, I guess. Oh, also, let me put in the main story here. So let's say, and by the way, this is not going to include any of the gods. Otherwise, Beerus would be the strongest in like pretty much 90% of these. So like in the main story right now, obviously, but Black Frieza, that's the strongest character, like undebatably, at least for the mortals, of course. So we'll put him here. This is like the main story, Black Frieza, this is the bar. And so everyone will be like, oh, is there anyone stronger than Black Frieza, or are they below them? And then actually, let's put him here right now, just for right now. And again, I'll explain more of this along the way. So here's a really weak scenario. This is what if Trunks died instead of Gohan. So this one ended, I mean, like you could just look at the thumbnail. This, I mean, it's cut off here, but it's Ultimate Future Gohan fighting Goku Black, who's just in base. So Ultimate Future Gohan, I mean, decently strong, but like he honestly might be, we'll adjust the tiers as we go along, but he's probably going to be like more around here, honestly. I guess I'll exclude fusions too, because that might make things a little more convoluted. In some stories, like there's one, where's the Vegito stayed fused? I guess I'll rank Vegito on there. I mean, the thumbnail's literally him fighting Black Frieza, so we could obviously put him up here, because he's Ultra Instinct Vegito. Yeah, let's move Goku up there. This one, so the thumbnail is, this is Goku, or this is Granola got sent to Earth. So that's, I think I call him Gokula. I should have called him Granoku, but I think I use that name in another what if. That's a fusion of them. So the strongest character in that story, I'd say, is, again, I kind of forget this, but I think it ended up with Granola being the strongest in Ultra Instinct because he was more suited for it with his crazy cerulean vision and whatnot. Or Goku might have been like equal to him. I don't really remember. It's one of the two of them. They're pretty much on par with each other. You know what? Screw it. We'll say Granola's the strongest one. I don't think I'd place him above Black Frieza necessarily. Yeah, the end of the story, I remember that one. It ended with the two of them fusing to fight Cell Max or something like that. So Granoku, if we ranked him, he'd be up here. But yeah, if it's just Granola, we'll put him there. This is what if Goku trained as a Supreme Kai. You might also hear me pulling up videos in the background too. I mean, I think it's fairly obvious. The strongest one in the story would be Goku here. We'll put it at that. Again, unscripted video, so I'm just kind of doing this on the fly. You get to hear me without my YouTube inflection, kinda. Completely unfiltered as well, which will... A lot of people get surprised when I swear in videos. Like, dude, if you watch any of the salad bar videos, I don't know why, I just subconsciously do not swear on this channel, usually. But on my salad bar videos, I let shit fly all the time. Oh, see, there we go. That's just how I talk. Okay, this is the original What If the Saiyans Were All Good. Dude, that's such an old story, too. But Broly was controlled. Like, he was able to control his power at one point, I think. So, we'll put Broly as the strongest in there, and he's definitely... This one came out November 18th, 2020. That is fucking insane how old that is. Because it ends with the Moro arc, but... Which is funny, because now we're actually getting that animated. Awesome. But yeah, Broly should realistically be pretty strong if we ranked him like that. Because the scenario's so old, he's just kind of held back in general because the scenarios back then were weaker. I mean, that's just how things go. So next we have, what if the androids in Cell turned good? Cell would probably be the strongest one in here, but I mean, it ended at the Tournament of Power. You can't really do much with that. It's like a few arcs. Actually, you know what? Let's go through all the old ones first. Majin Goku, that's probably going to be one of the weaker ones. I think Goku ended up being the strongest one in that scenario. Yeah, Goku gets Ultra Instinct at the end, but it ends at the Tournament of Power. We'll put these guys on the same tier. What if Piccolo saved the future? Now, he became a god of destruction, so yeah, he actually, you know, looking back at it, he wasn't too strong. We'll put Piccolo there. This is what if Vegito stayed fused, the original one. I mean, we'll rank it based on Vegito. It ended with Blue Evolution Vegito, but he also wasn't that strong because this also ended at the Tournament of Power, and I mean, that's kind of where that story caps out with Vegito. Vegito was obviously the strongest one there, but we'll put it like that, I guess. Dude, I can't wait to get the actual crazy strong ones, because the older ones, of course, I mean, you can't help that they're just kind of weak. Like this one. Ooh, so this one is the original what if Broly was found early. This is like one of my oldest stories. Actually, it's my oldest full story in general. Yeah, this would have to go like, if we had a Super Saiyan Blue Broly, realistically, he should be above this. And the overall story, like everyone else, would probably be like over here, because none of them got like crazy strong. I mean, there was Blue Gohan in there. If we're ranking it based on, you know, what we know now about Dragon Ball and, like, you know, my power scaling knowledge being a lot different now, Blue Broly should be like over here at very least. You know, it would be ridiculous to have him anywhere below that. I think he's definitely above Black Frieza, especially in the context of that scenario where, you know, he's training a lot more than he normally did. It's what if Gohan trained after Boo. So this one would be I guess we could put it around here, because this is another story where, oh, character trains a lot with a lot of potential, grows really strong, you know, formula. He gets UI Omen. But again, the story ends kind of early, so we can't really say he's too crazy strong. We'll put him like right over there. I think that's fair. I'm just going to actually try and go in order of when the series are released now. Majin Goku. Where did I put that guy? Where did that asshole go? I know I just grabbed that thumbnail somewhere. Did I put him on the list? Oh yeah, he's right there. I'm stupid. So yeah, he's what if Frieza killed Gohan on Namek? This is a funny thumbnail. I gave Goku like the red eyes where he's angry. Dude, and the way I talked to was so stilted. Oh my god. Yeah, so this one, I'll put him like over here. Next would be, what if Boo was revived in the Cell Saga? Wow, I did not really do a lot different in my old stories. Like, I feel like I wasn't really pushing boundaries as much with what I could do changing the story. Ultra Instinct Goku, I guess, is the strongest in this one. It's so hard to keep track of everything on this, like the thumbnails in general. Let's put him over here. Ultra Instinct Goku above Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Goku. I mean, obvious. Let's do that. You know, this is why I'm tiering everything. It's really hard to make it, especially with some of the older ones. Who do we have next? Let us see what bullshit comes next. Because some of my what ifs, my old ones, some of them, my new ones too, let's be honest. Some of my old ones had some bullshit ass power scaling. I've gotten better though, because I became a power scaler. Sad thing, power scaler son. I am a power scaler son. Strongest one in this story. What if Gohan and Goten were twins? We'll put them there. What if Goten trained like Goku? This is gonna be like pretty much the same exact thing as that. I mean, Goten and Goku are the strongest, although we did have Goten Black in there. So Goten Black's pretty high up, but I mean, complete Ultra Instinct Goku, let's just put it there. What if Chi-Chi was a Z fighter? The original one. I might remake this. Some of these stories have not gotten remakes and maybe kind of overdue. Oh yeah, I remember the story being pretty weak, because from what I remember, the original ending of the story, Universe 7 got erased because they were too weak for the Tournament of Power. And then I made an alternate ending because people, like, I like doing bad endings to stories where, not like endings that are like written poorly, but which, to be fair, I've done that before with the Super Saiyan Vegeta one, this one right here. That's just an ending I do not like. But like bad endings where the characters just don't win, where everyone dies pretty much or something bad happens. This is like one of the first stories I did it and people did not like that, so I'm like, okay, alternate ending, whatever. But this story is just too weak. I guess here, I mean, they lost the Tournament of Power. Where else could we really put them? What if Goku became immortal? The story is not that strong either. This one's not really that strong. I remember, like, where would I put it? Yeah, they had to fuse against Jiren in the Tournament of Power. That didn't really help much. Dude, that's kind of crazy. So same for the Chi-Chi one. I guess the strongest there would be Jiren. And then here, the strongest one would either be Baby Vegeta or Jiren. Or, I mean, it would definitely be Jiren. It wouldn't be Baby Vegeta. No, this one's a little stronger because they got Super Saiyan Blue, even though Goku had different growth when he was immortal. What if Roshi wished for his youth? Well, we had Blue Evolution, or no, we had... Dude, this is funny. This is really funny because Vegeta became a Supreme Kai here. And, so he had Blue Evolution, or he had Super Saiyan Blue. But this was before Ultra Ego was a thing, so Goku actually becomes he gets God of Destruction mode, like Toppo's form. And his hair is blue in it, which is kind of funny, because I'm looking back on it. I'll throw it on screen. I mean, we also had Ultra Instinct Roshi, so this story is actually, like, decently strong. God Mode Goku, we'll call it that, even though it's... Had I made the story today, and, like, everything else remained the same, that would have been Ultra Ego. Yeah, God of Destruction Goku, Ultra Instinct Roshi... I guess we could put it above here. Yeah, just... And the strongest character in the story, I mean... Probably Roshi in Ultra Instinct. Roshi was, like... Dude, Roshi was kicking ass in the story. I remember I made him actually really strong, so... Roshi's number one in the story, Ultra Instinct Roshi. Broly landed on Namek. This is another story where it's like, if I wrote it like I would write stories today... I mean, Broly did have a pretty easy time in the story. Like, he controlled his full power form, and then they won the Tournament of Power. Realistically, put him, like, around... Be the same as this one, but better, because he had different training and whatnot, and... He also had some magical abilities being from Namek and all. What if Goku got God Ki early? Interesting. I keep saying that interesting because I'm like... I just don't know. Oh my god, this is the story where Cell had hair. Dude, why did... Oh, I remember why. So, in this story, I think Cell didn't have Frieza's DNA, so I gave him hair because I wanted to make him look a bit different. So, Super Saiyan Blue Cell. Dude, I'm just laughing at the design because it just looks so goofy. Yeah, we'll put it like... Sure, around here, Super Saiyan Blue Cell. The tiers aren't going to be ranked completely accurately because, again, it's like I'm not going to remember every single little detail of these stories, but they're going to be around where they should be. So I guess Ultra Instinct Goku or Vegeta would be the strongest one here. But they're only an Omen though, so yeah. So it's Angel Golden Kuriza, and he got defeated by Ultra Instinct Omen Goku and Vegeta. Dude, that should not be that. Golden Kuriza definitely against Ultra Instinct. Yeah, no, if it's the Golden Kuriza. A fusion. I would think it would win nowadays, but we can't rank it on the fusion, so it's the Ultra Instinct. That's besides the point. What if future Gohan and Trunks won? And now that one, also just going to be inherently weaker, because it focuses on the future timeline, so you can't really... I mean, the strongest one would be Super Saiyan God Gohan, but it really is not that... Definitely stronger than Ultimate Future Gohan. Yeah, it's what if future Gohan and Trunks won, and it's basically just about them screwing around, getting stronger, they get God forms... What if Beerus woke up early? Who would be the strongest one in that story? Oh, this is when my editing started getting a little better, because I'm looking at the videos, and it wasn't just, like, small PNGs on the screen. It's like they actually were scaled to fit more properly. I mean, everyone just gets Super Saiyan Blue really early in the story, but I don't think... Yeah, no one gets Ultra Instinct or anything in the story. So it's just, like, a stronger Super Saiyan Blue. Even if you have that for, like, way longer, I don't know if you're... So let's just put it in this tier. I think that's pretty fair. Yeah, I mean, Blue Trunks is pretty good. I mean, being a hybrid and all, and Gohan, whatever. So maybe Blue Gohan will be strongest. I don't know. I don't know. That's one of the stories where I just, like, completely blank. What if Super Buu turned good? Boo's the strongest one, by default. Yeah. A Buu that kept training and is, like, really, really powerful. He has Ultra Instinct. Put him, like, around there. What if Raditz and Kakarot were twins? Kakarot had Super Saiyan Rose. Gohan had Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker. But again, this one doesn't go past the Tournament of Power. And then Raditz had Ultimate. So again, these people are just like Jiren level. Kakarot is the strongest? Or, let's do that. Sure, why not? What if Frieza was reincarnated? Would I say Azir is the strongest in the story? Golden Azir is comparable to Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. And this one actually does kind of go into the Moro arc. No, this actually does go through the entirety of the Moro arc. Now, Azir appears in Cell Prime, and he has his black form now. I'd put him up here, actually. I didn't tease that at the end of the story because Black Frieza wasn't a thing by the time the story actually ended, I think. But yeah, he went to train with Toppo in Universe 11. He became a Pride Trooper. If we're talking just Golden Azir, he'd be like right here. He'd be here. He's stronger than Golden Frieza. But if we're talking Black Azir, he'd go up here. This one gets kind of muddied by Cell Prime. I guess we'll include that excerpt from Cell Prime because it's only fair because like I don't want to... The story's like 4 years old, 5 years old almost. We might as well include the Cell Prime updated parts because that's what happens at the end. That's, for all intents and purposes, that is canon to the story because, you know, it's just what I'm writing. What if Vegeta was the legendary Super Saiyan? This one is very obviously going to be Vegeta as the strongest in the story, even though, dude, I feel like, oh my god, I held back so much with making my character strong. Because, like, legendary Super Saiyan Vegeta who keeps training and has, like, the same potential as Z Broly, he should be, like, dude, he should be, like, over here. But I think he ended up, like, around here. Definitely not Black Frieza level also because this is the original one, and, of course, I did end up redoing this one as in, what if Vegeta had Broly's potential, like, DBS Broly? But for this older one, yeah, we'll keep it that, because we kept him, like, he was, like, Z Broly there. What if Jiren was from Universe 7? Jiren's the strongest one here, no doubt. It's a little bit less embarrassing for Team Universe 7 that Jiren's the strongest because he's their ally. Yeah, we'll put it like around here, around that realm. What if Saiyans kept their tails, the original one, not the remake? What if Saiyans regrew their tails? Don't get them confused. It's kind of funny. Whenever I make remakes, I have to come up with like a new title that sounds different enough. There's Piccolo, and then Cargo becomes part of the main cast here, and both of them have like the Namekian version of Super Saiyan Blue, essentially. You know, Gohan has Super Saiyan 4, Goku has Ultra Instinct Omen by the end of it in the Moro arc. He doesn't complete it outside of the Tournament of Power. And then Vegeta, he's using like Super Saiyan 4 with the power of a destroyer. It would essentially be Super Saiyan God, and Uzaru together, or like Blue and Uzaru, or whatever mixture you want to make of those three forms, that's essentially what it is. And then he had destructive energy in it, so even though Goku had Omen in the story, I would say Vegeta's the stronger one at the end. What if Goku went Ultra Instinct against Buu? Oh dude, that's kind of a funny ending. Moro gets like headshotted with a Hakai. That's kind of funny. Oh, that's kind of gruesome. Or no, Goku is the strongest here. Vegeta just ends with Blue Evolution, even though he's like kind of on the path to Ultra Ego. It's funny, like I have Vegeta using Hakais a lot in these stories, but I don't know if Ultra Ego was a thing by this time or not. But either way, it's kind of funny that the inkling of it was there. So Ultra Instinct Goku would definitely be pretty high up on there. Just because he's had Ultra Instinct for so long, he's definitely stronger than Moro Arc Ultra Instinct Goku in canon. I don't know if he'd be stronger than Black Frieza just because we didn't get much further than that in the story. He'd probably be like a little stronger than Ultra Instinct Goku normally because he's had Ultra Instinct for so long. It's one of those stories where, you know, he's just really strong from the get-go, so that just makes him stronger throughout the entire thing. What if humans became androids? So Tien has his awakened Triclops form, and he's also an android, so he has infinite energy. And it's like Ultra Instinct, but he's more conscious. Or it's not really Ultra Instinct, it's just like, I guess it would be more like Granola, where he has like the very analytical eyesight. But then on top of that, Tien's such a great martial artist, and he has infinite energy, so we'll put it like it's in this Ultra Instinct tier. So what if Frieza became an android? This is where Frieza, so yeah, Golden Frieza, infinite energy as an android. He could absorb ki because he has the ki absorption, and he becomes a god of destruction. So this is a god of destruction Golden Frieza. He doesn't just destroy everything, but it's like everyone dies in the beginning, and then the story just follows Frieza. So because this is a god of destruction Frieza, who's an android, mind you, I'd put him above Black Frieza because it's Frieza with infinite energy, destruction powers, more training, blah, 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 blah. Had the story come out like today, he'd have his black form as his final form. So the only thing holding it back was the fact that the black form didn't exist back then, so really, what else are you going to do with that? What if Majin Buu won? I guess we won't count Buu absorptions either, because the strongest character in the story in that case would be Buu with Jiren as part of him. At his peak, we'll just call him Buu, because I don't know what I called that merging of everyone. And if we're not counting Buu absorptions, then Kid Buu is still the strongest because he had gotten so much training plus more godly ki and whatever. But he got defeated by like an alliance of Super Saiyan gods and Golden Frieza, so he's not like really that crazy. I think it's interesting what I did with that story. That's actually kind of cool. What if Salad Saiyan was in DB? Salad in his super perfect form was pretty strong, but Vegeta and Gohan were the ones to defeat Goku Black at the end, and it was Blue Evolution Vegeta and then Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Gohan. I'd say Gohan's probably the strongest one there, I guess. But I portrayed Gohan and Vegeta as kind of relative here, so sure, we'll put them in this tier. I think that's fair. Who else we got? What if Bardock was sent to the future? Okay, so Bardock has Ultimate God. He's strongest in Ultra Instinct Omen. We'll put that around here. Saibo from What If Cell was reincarnated? Apex Saibo. We'll put him like around here. What if Android 21 was canon? Okay, yeah, Ultra Instinct Goku Black. Definitely the strongest one in this story because he was taking on, dude, he was taking on Ultra Instinct Omen Goku. He was taking on Ultra Ego Vegeta. He's just, and then Android 21 and Ultimate God Gohan. Yeah, he's going there. What if Frieza raised Kakarot? So Janemba's probably the strongest non-fused character in the story. He would be around like Broly level though. Yeah, that's probably right. Let's do this. Do that, do that, do that. What if Cooler turned good? Ooh, dude, I still haven't done Dragon Ball Platinum. That'll come someday. Don't worry. I just like, dude, I get so busy, and that project is like way more work than you realize. So the strongest at the end, it's Cooler is merged with the Big Getty Star. Okay, so it's Metal Cooler or Platinum Cooler merged with the Big Getty Star. And he does appear in Cell Prime, so we'd put him above here. Cooler, who's like trained a ton, who has a form beyond Golden. He has True Platinum. That's his like main form. On top of that, he's got the power of the Big Getty Star, and he has like insane adaptation. So he's definitely above the main story. What if Piccolo learned Kaioken? I guess Blue Kaioken Piccolo would be the stronger one in the story because he could use Kaioken better than Goku, and his blue form was pretty much like Super Saiyan Blue. But he's not like, he'd be like over here. What if Beerus raised Vegeta? So that ends with Ultra Ego Vegeta becoming the God of Destruction. Vegeta, I mean, he ends up being the God of Destruction. He's raised by Beerus. Or what if both Brolys were twins? Where is that? Dude, that one's not on here. What if both Brolys were twins? What if both Brolys were twins? Let's say I'd put that... Let's use this thumbnail for that. What if Bardock and Kine survived? Where the hell is the thumbnail for that? Well, this is one of the few that goes into the GT. And the strongest one in that story. Yeah, so I guess we'd say Goku ends up being the strongest. I mean, Bardock has the rapid aging, so that kinda holds him back. What if Universe 6 was GT? GT Universe 6 Goku would definitely be the strongest with Blue. Yeah, let's put him over here. What if GT's Super Saiyan 4 was canon? So we have Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku. I think I portray them as kind of like on par with each other, so either of them would be the strongest characters. This kind of goes in this general tier, I guess, again. We'll just put it like right in the middle for now. What if Vegeta was went Super Saiyan on Namek? Oh, I didn't like this one. This is the one that had... I mean, Ultra Ego Vegeta is definitely the strongest one in this story, I think. The original one, I remember I had to remake this ending because not only did some people not like it, but I also did not like it. It just ended with Vegeta killing everyone. Dude, I don't know what I was doing there. So Ultra Ego Vegeta, I guess we'll put him over here. What if Roshi raised Kakarot? This is going to essentially be a version of Goku who trained his entire life with Roshi. Did he? No, Goku just had Omen at the end, but in the thumbnail, Goku has the complete Ultra Instinct. That's interesting. I did a little clickbait there, didn't I, huh? Oh, you're a silly one, Salad, huh, aren't you? Well, Ultra Instinct Omen Gohan would be the strongest one there. So Ultra Instinct Omen Gohan, he'll go in the same. Let's just do UI level. This is like the general level of like people who are just, you know, Omen or above. Anywhere from like Broly to UI. Let's do that. Like, what if Goku had Frieza's potential? Ooh, yeah, he's definitely above Frieza. He would be like over here actually. So strongest one here is, I mean, we have Goku and Gohan. He was also in Cell Prime. If we include him in Cell Prime, there was a part of the end where like he merged with the Big Getty Star and got like really fucking strong, and he defeated a few Prime or like helped with it. He would be like in that tier up here, though that was a temporary power-up. Before that, he would be the strongest character besides like one of the Cell Prime characters. At least in as this is right now, he would be one of the strongest on this list as of right now. We'll put him there. I mean, Gohan in that story was pretty strong too. Also, yeah, he becomes God of Destruction. He has Ultra Instinct like Super Saiyan 4 or whatever, and he's got Frieza's potential. Yeah, he's cracked. he's like really cracked. What if Bardock started a rebellion? That one actually didn't continue that far, so this is like a really weak story because it just ends with that. So we'll put it down here. Yeah, I don't even think he'd be stronger than like ultimate Gohan who trained. What if Majin Vegeta won? They're kind of relative to each other. I don't know who I'd say was the strongest in that scenario, because also this is an older one I can't really remember. I just remember both of them were dead. Vegeta has Ultra Ego, Goku has Ultra Instinct. I guess we'd just put Goku as the strongest then. And since he stayed dead, he'd have better training too, so hypothetically he should be like around here, because actually let's move him down here, because I don't really remember how strong he got. This is different because he stayed with Beerus the entire time and got Ultra Ego. This one, because they stayed dead, this is like, I mean, imagine if Goku had Ultra Instinct and like could train 24/7. And same with Vegeta with Ultra Ego training 24/7 while dead. So that's why they're above here. What if Broly was in Vegeta's crew? I mean, we had God Broly and Beast Gohan. So God Broly would be like definitely like the upper echelon here. True Majin Vegeta at the end did like absorb everyone briefly. I would still say True Majin Vegeta is probably like, True Majin Vegeta is like really fucking powerful though. Plus he has hacks. He has like really crazy hacks. Dude, I made him really over. This is when I started to actually make my stories more overpowered, which I like. Not like getting too crazy. I don't want to do that all the time, but dude, my older stories, I mean, they're so weak, and it's like not every story would be really strong, but dude, none of the stories became like really strong. True Majin Vegeta, I'd put like, I mean, he's definitely in the upper echelon of that. Did we do What If Vegeta raised Tarble? We did not. Where is that? Oh, Cell's the strongest in the story. Yeah, because Cell's part of, this is like another, oh, Cell's good in the story. Although the story didn't really continue that far. It ended at the Tournament of Power. I don't know why that ended at the Tournament of Power. Now every story I do pass the Tournament of Power, but I guess I didn't. What if Goku and Gohan were trapped in the time chamber? So, despite what the story was, or like the concept of it, they eventually did escape, obviously. And I mean, if you saw the story, you know what I'm talking about. Like, Gohan ends the story with Beast, and he fights Cell Max, and Beast Gohan would just be the strongest in that story. I don't know if I'd necessarily say he's stronger than Black Frieza, because, I mean, just consider what Black Frieza is. Like, there's no way he's going to be beyond that, but he's definitely above. You know what? How about we do this? A tier, this is the people who are, like, above the full power Broly, Ultra Instinct Goku, Beast Gohan, blah, blah, blah. Like, they'll be above that tier, but they're not going to be, like, significantly above it. Or they'll be, like, enough above. Like, they'll be between Black Frieza and, like, where the main cast is. So instead of Broly UI level, we'll change this, because this is going to make it confusing. Main heroes. This is going to be, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Broly, Piccolo. B, C, D. Let's do it like that. Main heroes, these are the people who are above that, and then Black Frieza is strongest in the story, obviously. Who else do we got? What if the Z Fighters grew like Saiyans? Okay, we have Beast Chi-Chi, Alpha Yamcha, Thousand Witches Tien, Ultra Instinct Goku, Orange Piccolo, Beast Gohan. Dude, we have some crazy shit in the story, and then Cell. Cell as a final villain would probably be the strongest one, because I remember he had to be defeated by a combined Kamehameha from Beast Gohan, Beast Chi-Chi, Ultra Instinct Goku, and Super Saiyan 3 Goten, which he's kind of like, he thinks he's... It reminds me of that one image, it's like, yeah, whoop his ass, Daredevil. I mean, Super Saiyan 3 Goten is still going to be like, the strongest character in that story would be Cell. And he'd be like, well, I think he'd be like around there. The strongest hero in that story, that's kind of tough to say, because, I mean, Beast Chi-Chi, Beast Gohan, probably like Gohan. Thousand Witches Tien was pretty cracked too. And same for, I mean, Alpha Yamcha, dude, I had some pretty cool form ideas. I'm gonna pat myself on the back. That's the sound of me patting myself on the back. What if Goku had Bardock's foresight, excuse me. I'll keep that in the video. Well, it's basically Goku with like a better Ultra Instinct at the end, because he has the foresight on top of it. So imagine Ultra Instinct with foresight. The strongest one in that story would be Goku. So he's stronger than the main cast, but I mean, stronger than... So when I say main heroes, by the way, like just in general, like I don't care who you think is the strongest of the five. We're just going to say like a strongest character here is stronger than the main heroes of the story. Did I skipped some stories. Okay, let's go back. What if Chi-Chi became a Saiyan? Strongest non-fused character is Moro, actually, in that story, so this one's kind of weak. We'll put it like around here, because Moro would be the strongest, and it's just like, it's just Moro, it's just regular ass Moro. So we'll put him like in that tier, sure. What if Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan? The original one, not what if Goku was like Broly, but what if Goku was the legendary Super Saiyan? Now again, if I wrote this today, he'd be so much more cracked, but realistically he should be like over here. But I don't know if I portrayed him as such in that story originally, but we'll put him up there. Yeah, legendary God Goku, sure. Put him as one of the stronger ones. What if Vegeta was always good Vegeta's the strongest one in that story, though, like, for sure. Put it, like, in this tier, sure. And then I forgot, what if Vegeta went Ultra Instinct too? That's also just like another... It's exactly what the title sounds like. I don't really need to give you guys a recap of that one. It's literally just Vegeta gets Ultra Instinct as well in the Tournament of Power or whatever. What if Goku found Broly early? This is essentially like a remake of What If Goku Went to Vampa after Namek. Broly is 100% the strongest one in that story. And I've already emphasized this in the video, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but my power scaling has changed. Like the way I talk about characters, like I'd probably have stories in here where Beerus, where like I'd use his anime version, where I made a whole video about Beerus's scaling, how it's different from the anime and the manga. And manga Beerus is like really just insanely cracked, while anime Beerus was actually surpassed. But in every story now, I treat Beerus as like manga Beerus, where he's just like a unsurpassable goal by most characters. And it's not just like a moving goalpost, like he's just really strong. And he's like gonna take a long time to surpass. This story is like one of the ones where he actually does. He gets Super God, which is like his full power God form, and he fights Golden Cell. So he'd be like up here actually. No, he might actually. I'll put him up here with his Super God form. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be like really high up. And this list, this is probably going to be way different from the last one, because the last one I was doing with a lot less research on what the stories were, because I was just going off like, oh, what I assumed I wrote in those stories. These ones I'm actually going back and looking at the characters in the story and taking a little more time, giving it some more room to breathe. Anyway, so that's where he goes. Golden Cell is like number 2 there, but Broly's even above Beerus in that one, I would say, just because he was like worrying Beerus at the end. Or I kept it kind of vague. What if Universe 6 and 7 merged? That's don't say it. Don't say it. Don't fucking say it. Don't you dare. The obviously strongest one there, Piccolo. He becomes Piccolo Prime in Cell Prime. Even if we're just talking about him in that story, yeah, Piccolo is, because he merges with like all the Dragon Balls and becomes like just like stupidly powerful with broken hacks and everything, and then just like on his own he's just strong too. Fighting Cosmic Slug. It's just funny that it's like the story where Slug becomes the strongest villain. Oh no, I'd put him above. I'd even put him above here. Just naturally, because he ends up in Cell Prime. So I'm not going to rank him separately, just because Cell Prime version of him is definitely, like, obviously stronger. Put these interchangeably, I guess, because Goku here had, like, crazy physical strength. This one was Piccolo with, like, crazy physical strength and crazy hacks. So, no, for that reason, I'll put him up there, just because, like, the context of that story. What if Piccolo was the strongest? This ended with Ultra Instinct Omen Piccolo fighting... Okay, so this had Ultra Instinct Piccolo. I mean, the story is what if Piccolo was the strongest. And I'm not just saying that because the title of the story, but like by the end of the story, where's the thumbnail for that? Okay, this is one that I actually also forgot on here, which is a shame because this would definitely be an S tier because he was pushing Beerus to grow stronger. So what if Cell survived? Cell should definitely be the strongest in that story. This one had a couple strong characters. So Gohan in the story unlocked like a new... Gohan has Final Gohan. You know, the name reference is pretty obvious, but it's Gohan with Blue and Beast combined. But he's not the strongest. Cell is actually stronger than him in Ultra Instinct, and then Boo is actually the strongest in that story. Also, there was Perfect Cell Max. So this one had a much stronger Cell Max, which is important because Boo, or we have like essentially a good Majin Buu. There's a couple of scenes where he absorbs other people temporarily. Yeah, Boo is like, he trains here, and then he absorbs that stronger Cell Max at the end. So, and I verbatim say at the end of the story that Cell hasn't surpassed Boo. So Boo is the strongest of that story. I guess this would go definitely like above, like around here. What if Bulma was a Z-Fire? This one wasn't like particularly strong. Cell's probably the strongest in that story. Yeah, this is a Cell who was basically improved by Bulma and made good. So this is another one where Cell's the strongest. I don't know, because like his strength was kind of vague. He's like at the lower end of this tier. Yeah, we have what if Raditz took Gohan next? I mean, Cumber would be the strongest in the story, but even though this is a temporary form, it ends with Spirit Bomb Ultra Instinct Gohan. He's definitely going to be the strongest of the story, is what I meant to say. I don't know if I'd say he's above Black Frieza tier just because the story ends a little earlier, but I think that's like a pretty fair place to put him. Okay, what if Bardock raised Kakarot? Should we put Few as the strongest? Because it's the same Few who eventually went to Cell Prime and became Few Prime. So technically he'd be the strongest there, and we could rank it based on him, but I guess we'll rank it based on God Bardock, because Few's not even from this continuity, technically, so for a Super Saiyan God, Bardock is being the strongest. Even though they're in Cell Prime later on, they get Super Saiyan Blue. Dude, I kind of clickbaited that thumbnail too, because they don't get Super Saiyan Blue in that story, do they? They're just using Super Saiyan God at their peak. Wow, I wonder why I did that. I guess I just forgot the context of the story. Well, they have Super Saiyan Blue in Cell Prime. If we consider them in Cell, or later on when they're part of the Continuity Patrol, they'd be like way up here. You know, I did that for Azir, so let's put them over here. Yeah. They're not like crazy strong, but like they're strong enough to be part of the patrol. What if Gohan and Goten were twins? Or what if Gohan was Goten? What if Goten was Gohan's twin? Excuse me. That's the new name of it to distinguish it. This is another one where the fusions are the strongest, but Beast Gohan and Beast Goten would be the strongest, and they're pretty much the same tier as each other. They're definitely like around, yeah, like over here. Yeah, okay. No, yeah, I'd say they're stronger than this one, because this is Spirit Bomb Ultra Instinct. Actually, let's move this just because it ended a little earlier. Yeah, put it there. What if Bardock went Super Saiyan against Frieza? Dude, this ends with Super Saiyan God Broly, and Piccolo goes orange and fights Cell Max on Earth, but God Broly's got to be the strongest by like a long shot, dude. He would be over here. Definitely. What if Goku became Kami? He had Crimson Kai, which is Rosé with like a really good Kaioken on top of it. And then there's Violet Vegito. Well, the fact that they needed to fuse, Vegito's the strongest, Cell's the strongest just by default because of that. So, put him like around, yeah, sure. That's good. A lot of these are interchangeable, like I've said. What if Turles was a Z fighter? Ooh, so this one's interesting. So Turles is, again, I use the word interesting. I gotta think of something. Dude, I gotta say something different. I use that, like sometimes I'll use the same words in my videos where, like, take a shot every time I say flabbergasted, I guess. I don't even know. I can't think of an example. Someone else, I'm sure, could think in the comments. You just comment below. If you've already watched this far in the video, you're probably a fan enough of my videos where you know what I'm talking about. Mighty Saiyan Turles, definitely the strongest one there. And then his ultimate technique, the Might Bomb, it like feeds off. It's like a parasitic spirit bomb essentially. It feeds off your strength. So if you get hit by it, you're fucked. If you're fighting, his Mighty Saiyan form alone is really powerful too. But like the Might Bomb would put him like above here because he could. If we put him up against Black Frieza, like if he hits Black Frieza with the Might Bomb, that kills him because Frieza just can't use his power because then the more power he uses, the more he just starts harming himself and then he dies. What if Kakarot was in Vegeta's crew? This one also ended with like a war arc. Well, this one ended with Black Frieza, although he got defeated by like a combined effort of everybody. And also, he didn't have as much training as a normal Black Frieza. It's funny, Black Frieza is the strongest in this one, but I'm putting him below Black Frieza because of that. Because if I remember correctly, he only had like 5 years of training instead of 10, because I didn't want to make him too strong. Controlled full power Broly. Granola has a new form. I called it Limitless, like based off of Gojo, and he's pretty strong too. And like, but like everyone's kind of like a good level. It just, Frieza's definitely the strongest there. What if Vegeta trained Gohan? I verbatim said in this video that this Frieza is like one of the strongest, this is the like strongest Frieza I've included in the story, at least up until that point. He's stronger than Black Frieza in canon, and he's the strongest in that story, so what if Vegeta trained Gohan? So he's like, by default, he's gonna be up there. What if Hercule was the strongest? I mean, Mr. Satan's obviously the strongest in that story, and I think I've said this before, if he were in Cell Prime, he'd solo Cell Prime. His power was Champion Spirit, which is like, he basically is as strong as he thinks he is. If he's confident that he could win a battle, he will become that strong. So if he were to fight Cell Prime and he were like actually confident in that, he would be so strong that he'd be able to beat Cell Prime. So he would be my strongest character. Not above me, not above Few Prime, not above Cell Prime, whatever. Hypothetically, he could get to that level, but at the level we saw him in that story, we'll put him here. He's my strongest non-Cell Prime character. Had he been, I had to exclude him from Cell Prime. It's funny, I had to exclude him from Cell Prime. Well, not intentionally. Like, at first it was unintentional, but then later on I'm like, oh, maybe I should include him. And then I'm like, wait a second, that's a terrible idea because he would just break the scaling of that story because he has hacks so strong that he could just beat everybody. What if Goku went Super Saiyan early? This is Goku going Super Saiyan when Krillin dies for the first time, not the second time. Because that's kind of, I mean, he does go Super Saiyan when Krillin dies. You know what I mean. Ultra Instinct Goku's the strongest in the story. I didn't really expand upon that ending. What if Frieza was good? Yulong would be, Yulong is going to be really strong. So I said in What if Vegeta trained Gohan, that was my strongest Frieza, but technically it would be this one because you have Pearl Yulong, which is just good Frieza. It's him using Ultra Instinct, but it's also like he's stronger than Black Frieza because it's like his own form plus Ultra Instinct, so he's going to be pretty cracked. He'll be like over here. Or what if Goku was like Broly? Okay, so this one would just like by default also be like over on there. You know, he has his own unique forms because of him being like Broly here. But his Ultra Instinct would be the strongest just because like it's going to be beyond whatever other stuff he has. You just imagine like Broly with the training instincts of Goku and then getting Ultra Instinct on top of that. Like, come on, yeah. Or what if Trunks was trapped in the past? Where are you at, buddy? Put Rose Trunks like around here-ish. He's not going to be like too crazy strong, honestly. Let's move him up here. He's above that legendary Vegeta. What if Vegeta and Trunks were trapped in the time chamber? This was also like the Goku and Trunks, or Goku and Vegeta trapped in the time chamber. Beast Trunks was pretty cracked, but I don't know if I'd say he's the strongest, because we have Ultra Ego Vegeta and Ultra Instinct Goku at the end. It's kind of like all three of them are in the relative range of each other, so I don't know who I'd say is the strongest there. Let's just say Beast Trunks because he's more unique to the what if. We'll put him like right there. What if Saiyan Tails grew back? So this one is definitely going to be above main heroes. I mean, you have Wrathful Beast Gohan, who combines, as it sounds like, Wrathful with Beast, and or like more like Super Saiyan 4. And the power of that with Beast, and then you have Cell here is pretty strong because he's got more of his magic and stuff. And then Vegeta gets Ultra Ego at the end. He has Blue combined with Super Saiyan 4, but Vegeta beats Cell, so Vegeta would be the strongest one in this story. I just this would have been funny as a live stream, because in the time between like the last cut and this, dude, I just cooked an entire turkey and I drank a bunch of wine. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. I'm such a good cook. I'm such a good cook. Too bad that's not what my channel's about. Okay, anyways, what if Goku was possessed by Piccolo? This one's not really like too strong, honestly. You have Ultra Instinct Goku, who was able to defeat Piccolo at the end, Piccolo Jr. specifically, who had orange. Ultra Instinct Goku would be the strongest in the story, but this is another one that ends at the Tournament of Power. I cut this one short because once Piccolo was killed permanently, it's like, what's the point of continuing a story about Piccolo if he's not in the story? You know, this one will be like around here. Sure. Yeah, what if Goku had a twin? So Goku and Ruda were like, this is another one, Kakarot, Ruda, Raditz. I would say like one of the siblings is the strongest. I don't know, because I portrayed them as equal. We could do that here. It's like Ultra Ego Raditz, Ultra Instinct Kakarot, Ultra Instinct Ruda. They're all pretty relative, but I'd put them around like above the main heroes maybe. I don't know. Yeah, no, I think that's kind of fair, because there's 3 people training on Beerus' planet instead of 2, so it makes sense that they'd be stronger. And it's funny, because I know I'm ranking individual characters in the story, but I'm just using the main heroes as like a threshold so I could separate the tiers more easily, so it's not just like, oh, everyone is like just below Black Frieza. No, it's like this way. It's like, okay, these people are below the main heroes, or like above the main heroes, but not above Frieza. So what if all Saiyans were good, which is just a remake of the other good Saiyan story, obviously. Yeah, in this story, Cumber was taking on so many people at once. I'd say Cumber's definitely the strongest. Yeah, we'll put it like right here. Sure, why not? And there's also what if Kakarot was something. Kakarot gets Super Saiyan Blue. He has magic, but he's not like exceptionally powerful. I'll put him like right, like around this level. What if King Kai raised Kakarot? It suffers from the symptom of being an older story, so it didn't get to continue that far. I'll put it like around here. I have a feeling if I were to make this today, Goku would be like, Kakarot would be like around this tier, or maybe even above that. But yeah, he's definitely around here. I mean, he only peaked at Omen, so we'll just put him in that tier. Sometimes I forget the titles of the stories just because it's what if Gohan trained like Goku. That's what I called it. But it was, so Gohan's obviously the strongest one in that story. I mean, he was like fighting Gogeta, and Gogeta was using like Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct, not combined, but like swapping between them, but still, because Gohan had his he had a final Gohan, which is Blue and Beast together. That's what he has in the thumbnail. So he alone, I'd put him above here. Yeah, I'd put him in Black Frieza. I mean, he fought Gogeta, like an Ultra Instinct Ego Vegeta, and won. Yeah, that's what if Goku Black arrived early. That one is also connected to, not really connected to Cell Prime, but like in the sense that Fu Prime was messing with a bunch of timeline shenanigans. So like, I mean, if you've seen the story, you know. Yeah, so even though he died, I mean, he was defeated. He had to get jumped by everybody, including like Ultra Ego Vegeta, Ultra Instinct Goku, Boo, Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo. Dude, he had like everyone on his ass, and Trunks. Yeah, so he was even taking on like Hearts was there. So he's dude, that Goku Black's probably up here. He's definitely like over in this area because it was a Crimson Mask Goku Black who had a shit ton of growth, and then also the Crimson Mask too fueling him. But yeah, he just had so much going for him, and then like the people that he fought was like he fought an insane gauntlet. So that would put him up. That would definitely put him up here. Oh, that's what if Gohan saved the future, isn't it? So Beast Future Gohan is the strongest in here. It's interesting because even though like you might think, oh, the cast is weaker because there's a lot less of the cast there, this is essentially a Gohan that kept training, and then there was a Beast Trunks 2 training alongside him. And then he fought Goku, this is a future Goku who remained dead, so he's been training 24/7 ever since he died from the heart virus. He was fighting Gohan in Super Saiyan 4 with like Kaioken on top of it, and like no limits at all, and then Gohan still beat him. So even though it's Super Saiyan 4 with Kaioken, like it's still, like, consider how impressive that is with the fact Goku's been training nonstop for like 20 years or something. I don't know how many years that was, but like however long it was, ridiculous amount of time. And Gohan's the strongest in that scenario. I'd say like future Gohan in the story should be stronger than the others because it's a version of Gohan that kept training. Ooh, yeah, what if Goku met Bardock? We got to End of Z, and it's also like, I don't think I really specified who was the strongest one there. As it ended, I kind of imagined with the story, okay, because this one, since it's so recent, I can actually talk about like what I was picturing with it. Since Goku was lagging a little behind not getting complete Ultra Instinct, I think I imagine Raditz being the stronger one in that scenario, which is like a rare instance of him being the stronger one, because they had a good rivalry going. But by the time End of Z rolled around, so let's rank it like as before End of Z. Before End of Z, I'd put it like over here, because Ultra Ego Raditz would be the strongest. By End of Z, I mean, Goku has Ultra Instinct, and then he'd be like, obviously they'd be like above here. And I'd say like, yeah, let's put Ultra Ego Raditz like around this level, like low tier here, high tier here, somewhere like in between. So let's put him here. Sure, why not? Why not? I mean, more people to train with too, so I guess like that would, as things go in Dragon Ball, the more people you have to train with, the better your growth is, blah, 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 blah. You already know the deal. You know the deal. What if Tien was the strongest? Ooh, well, I mean, Tien's the strongest in that story. Like, that's obvious. Yeah, so Tien's cracked in the story. This is another one where I brought back Thousand Witches. Chaozu, Chaozu and Ginyu's body is actually pretty strong, too, in this story. And then there's Kami, who remains as, where Piccolo is, Kami's the one who's, like, the main body, so he's in that story, too. But, yeah, Tien was fighting Ultra Instinct Vegito, so, like, that alone would put him, like, above. Yeah, I think we could put him like around here. I don't know if that would be, again, Black Frieza's strength is so vague, like, because you don't know how far above the others he is. Like, he one-shots them, yeah, but it's like I was saying earlier, you can't really gauge the exact level of his strength, so for all we know, he could be like Ultra Instinct Vegito, hypothetical at this point level, or like Ultra Ego Vegito, rather, but he could easily just be like, oh, he's stronger than Goku and Vegeta right now, and one-shot them, but if they were to fuse, then he's cooked, which I think that's more the case. So for that reason, I'll put Tien here, just because Black Frieza is like kind of hard to gauge. But yeah, he had Thousand Witches. He had Ultra Instinct, Evolved Kaioken. I'm not gonna include not to include fused characters. I know like we're not doing that, but he could merge with himself, and he could break fusion by doing that. That was a big part of the story, and it's not really like a fusion. It's, well, I mean, it's fusion, but it's not like two characters fusing their power. It's just him cheating the system. Like a merged Thousand Witches Tien. He'd be like up here, like a merged Thousand Witches, Ultra Instinct, Evolved Kaioken Tien, because he could use, it's ridiculous. I made him like stupidly overpowered. He could use all that shit together. He'd be like really high up with like especially when merged, but just as he is, like in general, put him right there. But merged Tien would be like there. Well, I mean, he is fighting Ultra Instinct Vegito, so I guess he'd be above the Vegito in that scenario, even though that's, no, yeah, because he fought Vegito without merging. So yeah, merged Tien. If we were to do him, he'd be like here, I guess, or here. Sure. Big Getty Star Goku. Big Getty Goku's pretty strong, but that's also another story where it's like the main villain died before the story could like progress really far, so that story didn't go too far, but I mean Goku obviously won in the end, so that by default makes Goku stronger than Metal Goku. So the strongest character in the story is Boonaverse 7, which is dude, I'm actually kind of proud of that name. That's Majin Buu merging with like, or absorbing like Team Universe 7, or at least what's left of them in that story. So he's the strongest, but again, I'm not counting absorptions, so, but that was what was needed to defeat Metal Goku, so Metal Goku's obviously like the strongest one in here. I'd put it like there, yeah. Ginyu Force turned good, the new version, not the old one that was completely unfinished. You also had a Golden Cell in there, or not Cell, excuse me, Golden Birder, because Birder, that's kind of funny, Birder was in Cell's body there. So Golden Birder was pretty high up in there as well. I'd still say Ginyu was the strongest. Ginyu in Frieza's body. We'll put him like right there. I don't know if he'd necessarily be Black Frieza level, especially because Ginyu had been in Frieza's body so long, because initially when Ginyu stole Goku's body in the main story, he couldn't access the full amount of power. Part of what happened in the story was like he learned to tap into Frieza's full power over time. So he was basically a better Frieza. And when you count the time that he had in training and developing it, would be over the amount of time Frieza had, so But I didn't portray him as being like much stronger than Black Frieza, so I think that's fair. Like a little bit below where Black Frieza is, just because of how I portrayed him in that story. In hindsight, maybe he should have been like a little stronger. Like he should have been here, but I think the way I portrayed him in the story would be there. Oh, that's what if Kakarot was kidnapped by Raditz. What if Raditz kidnapped Kakarot? Okay, this story Zamasu is the strongest. Merge Zamasu specifically because I'd put him like over here. I think that's, yeah. He was fighting in two timelines at the same time. He killed Broly, he killed Gohan, but he was also fighting future Beast Gohan at the same. He took on Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Raditz, and Beast Future Gohan at the same time after already killing present Gohan, who was only in Ultimate, I think. Yeah, he was only in Ultimate, and then also Broly. So he should be. He's like, I'd say he's over there just because of like how strong Broly was in that story. That like kind of scales him up. That's a good upscale for Zamasu there. What if Gohan was the first Super Saiyan? Yeah, Gohan in the story is the strongest. He beat Beerus, so by default he's above Black Frieza. Shit, we can even put him like over here, I guess. What if Z Broly turned good? Very obviously, Broly in that story is the strongest one. Okay, yeah, Broly in that one, he had basically like legendary Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Ego. Essentially, it was called Mythical Saiyan, and he beat Ultra Instinct Beerus. So like, come on, he's up here. He's one of my strongest, like, of all. Actually, no, we gotta move Goku Black down there. So yeah, Mr. Satan, Piccolo, Goku Black. Or no, actually I'd put Frieza Potential Goku over there. Yeah. One thing to mention about Frieza Potential Goku too, and same for Frieza Potential Gohan, is like, and I think I mentioned this in the original video, just because they have Frieza's potential doesn't mean that's like, they're gonna constantly grow at that rate. There's gonna be diminishing gains at some point, so it's not like the level of growth that Frieza had from going from Final to Golden Frieza, it's not gonna be like that his entire life. Now, he's gonna have like really crazy growth, but a lot of people thought like, oh, he should have been stronger because like, imagine growing like that his entire life. No, I don't think he would grow that same level his entire life. Like, still like a lot faster than a normal Goku, like considerably faster, but not like Resurrection F Frieza growth for his entire life. And even like, if you look at Black Frieza going into, or Frieza going to Black Frieza, it took him 10 years to get that, and he went from Tournament Power Blue level to being one-shotting Ultra Instinct Ego, or Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta. Him training 10 years for that, I don't think he's like absurd, like as absurdly strong as people think. So I think it has diminishing gains, definitely, especially because Frieza never trained in his life up until Resurrection F. So he's kind of just getting like a huge burst of it all at once, if that makes sense. So that's why they're over here. What if Zamasu was from Universe 7? Another one where Zamasu is the strongest, surprisingly. Third Eye merged Zamasu, although Third Eye Piccolo was the second strongest, but Third Eye merged Zamasu is, I'd say he's up here. Yeah, it's merged Zamasu who like keeps growing, and he decimated everybody. Even though it was like earlier on, he killed like he killed Beast Gohan with like, he one-shotted him and killed him. He was taking on like a stronger full power Jiren, a stronger God of Destruction Toppo, because these were like in the future as well, because he was like fighting ones that were older. And then like Rose Goku and Orange Third Eye Piccolo. Okay, you could probably hear a snowplow going by, because I'm also recording this like while there's a giant snowstorm outside. That's why I'm making this video. I was like, dude, I'm snowed in. I'm bored as fuck. I'm like, I've been meaning to make this for a while, and I'm probably gonna make this like a yearly thing. But yeah, last video on here. What if Kakarot was raised by the Red Ribbon Army? What if Kakarot became an android? That's Kakarot. At the end of the story, he was fighting Z Broly, who was like, this was like a much stronger Z Broly. I mean, you had Ultra Instinct Tao, where like, he was on the path of that, but like, he was that strong. Broly was really strong. This is an Ultra Instinct Kakarot with the training of like Mercenary Tao, so he has like assassin techniques. He trained with Hit and got more assassin techniques. He didn't have infinite energy because he was made before those types of androids were made, but he could absorb energy from others, and he absorbed Broly's energy. He fought Beerus and he wasn't on his level. The power that he had against Broly was temporary, so maybe he ends off here, like, definitely stronger than the main cast, but not Black Frieza. But in that moment where he absorbed all of Broly's power, he would be like here. So obviously strongest character, Cell Prime, Few Prime, or particularly Cell Prime. Strongest non-Cell Prime character, Mr. Satan. Like, legitimately, just because of how cracked I made him with that. Then you have Piccolo Prime, Goku with Frieza's potential, Goku Black, who arrived early, Z Broly, who turned good, evil, quote-unquote evil Kakarot. This is a Broly who was found early. Is it really fair to put them around the same? Oh no, because this one beat Beerus. This one didn't. He just beat Gogeta, which is still crazy, but like, yeah. I actually recorded that video like a few months ago, and right now I'm recording this part on May 9th, Goku Day actually, because since I took so long to even get around to editing the video, I realized, oh shit, I dropped a few other full stories. I also sounded really bored in that video. I just noticed, so sorry about that. You could tell I'm definitely a lot more high energy here. So I'm going to also do the ones that dropped since then that I haven't done. What if Vegeta was like Broly? Vegeta had Broly's potential, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Yeah, this is just legendary Super Saiyan God. Vegeta's obviously going to be the strongest in here. So I put him... I think I portrayed this Goku as being stronger than him. So he'd be somewhere in this tier. I don't know exactly where he'd be. He'd be in like the upper echelon. Again, I've said this before. The tiers are more important than the actual placement in them because there's no way I'm going to get an accurate placement in each tier that's like exactly right. Like up here is different, like Mr. Satan is the strongest. So, but anything that's in the same tier, it's honestly interchangeable with the ones that are next to them. What if Nappa survived? So, oh, actually, you know what? By default, Nappa's going to be the strongest here. It's weird because I don't want to include the gods as part of this ranking, obviously. But at the end of the story, Nappa does become God of Destruction, and then he's going to outlive everyone, basically. Well, not definitely above Black Frieza. He's going to be like... He's also going to be like in this general tier. Didn't really go into how strong he actually is, but he's ending off the story, basically. Give it some time, and he's going to be just the strongest because he's going to live, basically. I assume that the Gods of Destruction have some sort of immortality, so he's going to have the same thing there. What if Bardock escaped with Kakarot? So Ultra Spirit Bardock is going to be the strongest, but he's not, like, exceptionally cracked compared to everyone else. So in case you don't know what Ultra Spirit is, if you haven't seen the video, Ultra Spirit is, like, the Champion Spirit form that I have here for Mr. Satan, the technique that he has. His strength is based on what he believes is his strength. It's like a more realistic version of that, I guess, in terms of, like, it's not crazy gag power. It's like, if people have belief in he's like a living spirit bomb, essentially. It's like, if people lend their spirit and belief to him, and then his spirit flares up too. It's a form based on feeling, essentially, and his own spirit, his own drive. So it's not that strong because it's also like, it's kind of a potential form. It's like he could potentially be really strong, but it doesn't mean he's gonna have like a set power each time. But he'd definitely be in like the lower end of this tier somewhere. What if Shallot was canon? Okay, so this one obviously, well, it's weird because Shallot with an E, Shallot, I guess it's pronounced the same way. So when Shallot and Giblet fuse, their fusion's name is Shallot. When they fuse in this story, they have the power of the Omnificence Crystal within them. And if you never played Dragon Ball Legends, it's essentially Timu Super Dragon Balls. So you could just make whatever fucking wish you want. Then he has a form based on that too, and he has the power of wishes. The thing is, that's only the fusion though, and I'm not ranking it based on the fusions. Shallot and Giblet themselves, I mean, they're decently strong. If we're talking about the fusion Shallot, he'd be over here just because like he could wish for whatever the fuck he wants. I'd actually say Gohan's probably the strongest in the story from what I remember. He gets Beast a little earlier, so it's going to be a Gohan that's a little stronger than normal, so he'd be like over here or over here. I'm going to put him here just to be a little more conservative because I'm forgetting the minutia of the story. I just know he got Ultra Ego earlier. I guess, you know what, to make up for the fact, I'll put him up, I'll put this scenario up there to make up for the fact that, you know, Shallot and Giblet fused could potentially be really strong, but individually, they'd be more like top of B, bottom of A. So this is what if Piccolo was the strongest? As the name implies, Piccolo's the strongest in this scenario. So he's going to be, you know, the strongest here. We're going to rank it based on that. So in this story, we have Ultra Instinct Piccolo at the end, and he fights Beerus. He doesn't win, but he pushes Beerus like a pretty good amount. So he'd be over in this tier. Yeah, let's move him down a little bit just because he's a little more vague. Yeah, he's definitely like over here. Actually, the Might Bomb alone. Let's move this up. Honestly, I'd place Turles up there, just because of the Might Bomb. And then finally, what if Goku was reborn? Oh, and by the way, I don't know when this video is going to drop, but yeah, this is the thumbnail for what if Bardock escaped with Kakarot, because that's dropping on May 18th. So if this video drops before then, and then Reborn Goku, this one's already been out. Reborn Goku's definitely going to be, God, I don't know where to put him. He's obviously like one of my strongest characters. It's just like, when you're in this tier, it's more like every character has some sort of stupid level of hacks that makes them even crazier than you'd expect. Goku's not the strongest in that story. Future Goku is the strongest in that story. And he reached a point where he doesn't even need to transform anymore. But future Goku, the one who died of the heart virus, is the strongest in the scenario because he's reborn Goku, but he had 24/7 training in Otherworld for like a century by the end of the story. And he's just like ridiculously strong. So, God, I'd put him, he'd be somewhere up here. Both of them would be, except it's like future Goku, there's a decently big gap. Then there's present Goku, and then there's a huge gap between him and like everyone else. But everyone in that scenario grows a lot stronger because Goku, I mean, he's reborn. He knows everything that's happening. He knows how to make everyone really strong. So let me know what you think too. And I have this little tier from me as well because I'm canon to the story. Yeah, but this is basically what we have for the list. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, again, some of these might be out of order. I can't remember every single thing in every single story because I've written so many stories, and I'm writing more as we speak. Let me know below, and there might even be a couple scenarios that I'm missing from here that I didn't get every single thumbnail of, so you can let me know about that below, and be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help with the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want to see more unscripted content like this, let me know, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.